Sorry.
Hello, everybody! Welcome to another episode of 10 Forward Weekly. I'm sorry I'm not making eye contact. I'm making sure Thomas and Jeremy's cameras are turned on, or audio is turned on. But hello! It is good to see you all today. How are you doing? For those of you who don't know me, my name is Mikey Fatum. I am the community manager for Star Trek Online. And I am very excited today because we've got a very cool stream. We're going to be doing these quarterly Fireside chats with Thomas and anybody else he wants to bring along. Thomas, of course, is the executive producer of Star Trek Online. And oh, there's camera. There's his camera. Okay, cool. You know, the big boss man, which I guess means that he walks around with a in a police uniform with a billy club. But that is an old school wrestling reference. There you go. All right. Well, Jeremy, and of course, we're also joined today by Jeremy, who is the lead designer for Star Trek Online. You might know him as Bordicus, or that guy who stepped in while I was eating my lunch and didn't realize the Discord had exploded over the whole emote thing this morning. I love you all, and I'm sorry. Okay. But that's not what we're here to talk about. Everyone say hi to Thomas and Jeremy, and Thomas and Jeremy say hi to everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, everyone. Hi.
So
Let us know if our audio's okay. We skipped over audio check.
Jeremy's terrified now.
Yeah.
Your audio levels
I just want to make sure we're
exactly the same as they were the last time you were on, so I'm hoping that does the trick. I am probably too quiet, though, because that happens every time. Yep, it turned my audio down. Okay, there we go. All right, so I think the thing we should start with is talking about this roadmap. So what we're going to do, guys, today is we're going to go through the roadmap. If you've watched some of the interviews that came out with content creators this morning, you've gone through some of this with us already. But I just want to go through each of the kind of blocks we have here and talk about what's coming up for the game, what you already know, what's next, with the gentlemen who know all that stuff. And see if I can prod them into accidentally revealing things they're not supposed to reveal. Wait, did I say that part out loud? Shit.
Now that I'm EP, we do talk about upcoming content.
Thank God. My life is so much easier now. All right. So, whoops. Nope. There we go.
What's a roadmap?
It's a 26R.
Foreign concept for what?
All right. So let's start with April. And I guess that means we actually start with, I was going to say, let's go through the roadmap and then talk about the quick start. But the first thing on the roadmap is the quick start. So let's talk about that a little bit. It launched today. It was a company-wide initiative. So Champions, Neverwinter, and Star Trek Online all have their own version of this. Well, why don't we start with, Thomas, what's sort of the genesis and the kind of end goal of this idea?
Yeah, so this is actually one of the very first things that Jack said us about when he started as new CEO of Cryptic back in January. He wanted us to try to re-engage old players, and as a veteran MMO player and developer, he knew that one of the hardest things to do is to get back into an MMO that you haven't been in like 5, 6, 10, 16 years. The game has changed so much, and just relearning all those systems is and getting better gear, getting a better ship and character, and figuring out what the meta is and all that stuff. It's a slog, right? It's a reinvestment of time. And so for all of our games, Jack's challenge to us was, well, can we build a character that is that has all that done for you, so you can just get in, and if you know how MMOs work, or if you know how Stowe plays generally, you can just get in and go, and you've got all your bridge officers equipped, you've got all your powers, you've got all your items and your ship and everything, and it's all good to go. It's ready. It's pointed at a mission. You can just quick start, right? That's the name of the event. And so we done that with Neverwinter. We're doing that with Stowe. Champions Online has a version of this too, and it really is about re-engaging with people who haven't played the game in a long time, and saying, hey, here's a really quick, easy, powerful way for you to come back and try out Stowe, if you haven't in a while. And we also wanted there to be something for our current players who have been with us all this time. Thank you very much. And so to that end, this is essentially a free character slot for you. So if you don't care about the tactical Vanguard Jemadar, you can just claim it and dismiss it, but you still have that slot. That doesn't go away. But also the Jemadar, Stowe was in an interesting position because I think I'll toss it over to Jeremy. We already had something like that when Jack came to us and said, "Hey, make a character that's already ready to play."
We said we did that.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah. So we had
quickly,
the,
sorry,
the
before you start, quickly, thank you very much for the raids, Wolf Grey and Dark Mom. It's great to see you guys. All right, please continue.
So yes, as Thomas said, we were kind of lucked into the fact that we already had some of this set up. We also had the Vanguard, the extra premium version of this character that many characters didn't have. A lot of veteran players do already have it, but it's a premium option that we were able to roll into this this make good promotion as a extra special giveaway. I will say, we hedged our bets a little bit here, right? We chose to use an existing setup. We chose to use an existing character, although premium, that we gave away this time around. If we do this again, we might not play it so safe, because we learned a lot of stuff during this. Neverwinter actually explored a lot of this as well. They're doing it slightly different with a custom built character. I think there's even multiple class options that you can do in Neverwinter as well.
And Champions is doing the same thing. There's 3 archetypes to choose from.
Right. So we did also have to balance this against a lot of when Jack proposed this, we were knee deep in our anniversary already and trying to get that all wrapped up, and then there was the post anniversary bundle. So it was very hard to find time to really support this. But of course, if your CEO says jump, you say okay. So we did lean on some of the existing stuff here to get it off the ground. But it was really successful, and we learned a lot across the whole company. So that's one of the things I'm most excited about, honestly, about it, is your players' perception and reception to this has also been going great. But the amount of things that we learned internally and spread knowledge to different teams and everything, that's always a huge win for the long-term life of the game and the company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, the whenever you try things like this and you learn, you never know what kind of other ideas that can unlock, and what if we're doing more of these sort of pre-built characters, what other options are there for us to keep doing that in the future? And there could be lots of wild things we can do. And I want to say that this actually today, it did go really well in terms of interest, in terms of the number of people playing Stowe, compared to historically other days of other Tuesdays and stuff. We had a 20% increase, which is awesome. So there's
huge bump in players.
Yeah, it's a huge bump, and we saw something similar to that in Neverwinter. So I think it's great because we want to get people back into the game, and we want to make the game bigger for everybody, because that lets us do more cool stuff, right? That the more successful and the more people are playing Stowe, enjoying Stowe, obviously that gives us more room to be even more ambitious than what we did today.
And so does learning more about how certain things can be built, or the challenges that we can choose to accept, and how we can use the tech in new ways. It's all exciting for the future.
Yeah.
I
actually don't know the answer to this question. Do the Vanguard gems, do they come with any endeavors filled out?
No.
Okay,
Personal endeavors, I think, released at the same time, so we assumed everybody was going to be 0 when they went into that system. But if you have endeavors, they're account wide. So
yeah. So there you go.
Yeah.
And again, something to think about for next time if we do it next time. I know on other video games that were run by the same CEO. This was successful enough that they ran it at least a couple of times. So you never know what might happen with this. But the other cool thing, and we talked about this a little bit, on all the other content creator streams, but by sort of its very nature of how this works, we're also giving a gift to, current players who may or may not want to this Gemhar Vanguard Dar? Yeah, okay, cool. This Vanguard Gemhar. Gemhar! In the form of getting to keep a permanent new character slot.
Yep.
You want to talk about that a
That's
little bit?
valuable to you. It's really pretty simple. If you're already at your character slot cap before today, no, you're not.
Yep.
Now we did intend for you to use that free slot on the new promo character, of course, but if you don't want to, you could just create another character. There's a few things that probably are worth mentioning in case people haven't already explored this. A few caveats to know going into it. The Vanguard can only be claimed once, so don't delete it if you want to play it.
So hold on, Jeremy,
Yeah.
hold on. Once.
Once.
That's a callback to an old tabletop game.
Sorry, I had to.
Once. I created a vendor that sold magical items that could only ever be used once.
Oh yeah, I remember that guy.
Didn't we actually use it? Wasn't there some sort of like egg catching thing we had to use in the? I don't know. It was great. Anyway, we can move on.
I read from a random list of magic items that I found somewhere on the internet, and I misread it. And it's supposed to be an egg hatching cup, like an egg cup that if you put an egg in it, it'll hatch. But I read it as egg catching cup, and so it was basically this useless item that then the party just went crazy with theory crafting of how they could use an egg catching cup if it always catches the egg.
Yeah.
Once.
Ryko Nyla wants to know if a pirate Dominion character is a Yarhar Jemhadar, and yes, that's absolutely true. 100%. Well done. You've added something new to canon. So yeah, I know a lot of people were sort of saying, "Oh, I already have a Jemhard." Why am I still doing that? A Vanguard Jemhadar or we just went, especially on console, they just went through Gamma Recruit a few months ago. Obviously, we turned that back on because everyone's making a new Jemhadar. Yeah, so
it would have been criminal for us not to, right?
Yeah.
I think we also put all the Victory is Life like bundles and packs and all that that extra stuff is on sale as well.
Right.
Yeah. In case you want to go full Jarmhardar themed.
Vanguard's been out
in the day, folks. It's late in the day.
It's late in the day. I had forgotten how I felt about 4 p.m. streams, and it's even later for Thomas. Vanguards have been out a while. Rumble 2, again, this sort of feature is not really designed as something that's going to grab a lot of, we have certain different types of players. We have you guys who are super, super engaged with the game, and, we'll post on the Discord, we'll post on the Reddit, we'll come here and watch the streams. This is probably not, a world-shaking thing for y'all. But as Thomas was saying earlier, it is a great thing in that the more people that come in and play the game, the more we can do to improve the game. Because more players means more attention and more resources and all of that stuff. So,
I don't know if this was in any player-facing, but we were calling this a win-back promo internally. Like this, one of the main focuses in terms of like key performance indicators, KPIs, is like trying to get old lapsed players to have a reason to come back and check the game out again. And by giving them a free max level character with a bunch of pre-spent numerics and decent gear and stuff like that, that was really our goal. So anybody that's already playing, that's already heavily engaged, I hope you like it. But in a lot of ways, you're not the primary people we were kind of aiming this particular thing at, right?
But if you've got a friend who you used to play Stow with all the time, and then you want to be like, hey, it's a good time to come back. They'll give you this free, super cool character. You could tell your friend about that, and they might go for it.
You should.
Yeah.
In fact, you're required to. I think.
Yeah, it's
by
legally
terms of service that you sign. When you play the
And
game.
you've still got a couple weeks to get your for your friend to get their the Battlecruiser Sovereign.
Yeah.
The first contact event is, I think, got 3 weeks left. So
2
you could,
weeks,
you know,
I think.
so it's
Yeah.
May 7th, so whatever that means.
What is today?
It's the 21st. So anyway, so you can, I don't think you can earn it completely if you started today, but you could at least knock most of the
Mhm.
most of the
Most
price
of the cost
off,
down, yeah.
for a buyout. Yeah.
What if all of your Trek enjoying friends already play? Find more friends, Arwen.
I think that's great for you.
Yeah, I think that's just healthy for everyone in general, and also super easy for those of us who are huge Star Trek nerds to just go out and make a ton of friends immediately.
Yeah,
it's something
we're all such social butterfly types,
right? Nothing that we struggle with at all. Let's see. Kingboo82 asks if they purchase the Jem'Hadar Vanguard, and then we're going to move on to the next thing. Am I correct in assuming I can turn my pre-existing Gamma Recruit into the Vanguard version via the alteration token? Now, you're asking if you buy it in the Zen store, and I think the answer to that is yes.
You buy the unlock.
Yeah.
I actually don't know. I think that I would have to double check. I think the alteration token is unavailable to Dominion characters.
Oh, right. There's nothing to change into.
Or there's just those two species.
Yeah.
And there's no gender options. So I actually don't think that is available, but maybe we can look into turning it on, at least for that case. Like, it's kind of edge casey. Not a lot of people are going to do that. Usually somebody will buy a Vanguard and make a new character that's a Vanguard.
Yeah.
But maybe we can look into it. I don't think it's currently accessible that way, though.
Okay, cool. Sounds good.
Speaking of the Captain Alteration token.
Hey, what we should talk about the Return to Duty pack. Thomas, you want to tell us a little bit about that and how that came together?
Yeah, so this is a pretty simple pack that really is, again, meant for less for people who are, playing the game every day, and again for people who are just coming back, haven't engaged with the game for a while, and just kind of, we wanted to offer them a set of, well, here's a little bit of everything for you so that you can kind of get engaged with item upgrading, and here are a few lockbox keys, and here are, here's a ship upgrade token for your T5U or T6 ship, and here's a retrain token, a captain alteration token in case you want to change your species or your gender. We've also got, Bridge officer upgrades, the captain upgrade, R&D packs, staff packs. So the idea here is to just give people kind of a sampling of, these are all the different axes of progression in the game, and here's a little bit that you can use to learn how each one of these things works and to interface with it. And it's a crazy good discount. I mean, the flagship item is, of course, the Kobayashi Maru device, which you can get in the Muds Market for an account unlock. I think of it's like 12,000 Zen or something like that. It's a really high price.
I can find out.
But
of course, in Muds Market, you should also wait for the sale. Anyway,
right,
sorry, please continue.
Yeah, but the version of the Return to Duty Star Pack is, you only get once, you can't reclaim it, and then you can only buy one pack per account. And the reason for that is because if you added up all the sticker prices for everything in this bundle, it's like an 80% discount off of their individual price, right? And that
was one of the business goals. We wanted to do a pack that had a low barrier to entry in terms of price.
Right.
So
right. Yeah. And we also, and it was also important to me, making a pack like this, I also don't want people who already bought a Kobayashi Maru to feel bad.
Yeah.
Again, we are thinking, even if we're not making stuff for longtime players, if you're not the primary audience, I am always thinking about you guys, and at least, even if it's not for them, it shouldn't make them feel like a chump. You know what I mean? It shouldn't make you feel have regret. And so that was another thing, was even the conversation of well, can only new people buy it? Can everybody buy it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, everybody should be able to buy it.
Yeah.
If they want it, they should be able to buy it. And if you don't want it, I understand. But I think it's a great value for what's in there. If you want just heck, all those upgrade tokens, right? The Captain Retrain token, all that stuff. It's a pretty big discount on all that stuff.
Mhm.
You know, and throw in $5 a keys. The DOF, the R&D and DOF packs, those include rolls on the Infinity.
And in fact, Halo
promo
in chat
ships.
got a promo ship on it this morning from buying the pack.
Nice, congrats. Yeah, so at least there is, you know, there's a little bit of extra value there too if you happen to get lucky. So like me, by the way.
Yeah, oh no,
I
we posted about that. If anybody didn't see the post on Reddit, Thomas opened a pack during our weekly playtest last week and got the top prize ship, which immediately broadcast to the whole game. Thomas Verodi has won a T6 ships.
That was really great.
Yeah.
Oh man. But anyway, so that's the Return to Duty pack. I think it will be really helpful. The Kobayashi Maru is a great summon. It buffs your ship in combat. It heals you, and it does all this great stuff. It's a really affordable way to get that. If you only need it on one character, this is the way to go. And then plus all the extra, the retrain, the buff and captain upgrades, the ship upgrade, all that stuff. It's a really, really cheap way to get a bunch of stuff that is useful, you know, in different contexts.
Heck yeah. Quick idea that I want to pass on to you guys because I just saw it in chat and it's a really good idea. I'm going to get this. Cintronitis over on YouTube was saying they would love to be able to give these to their friends over the holidays and stuff, which seems like a really good way to, you know, get more people playing Star Trek Online if your friend can hand you a Return to Duty pack. So...
we have a lot of initiatives going on internally, but one of those that I have pushed out a few times, I don't think we have time for it right now, but is gifting within the C store. Being able to like direct purchase something for somebody that's on your friends list, for example, is something I've asked to be investigated, but I think it's not a high priority right now.
And we'll have to see how it does, but the discount on this thing is so steep that we're actually currently only planning to offer it during the
for a limited time
quick start event. Yeah. So if you do want it, I'd say get it now. But you know, it might come back. I'm sure it'll come back in the future at some point. And I agree with Jeremy. You know, there's a lot of stuff, honestly, with our, you know, if like one way that I think about Star Trek Online and most free-to-play games is essentially they are retail businesses, right? Like to get into the economics a little bit, like we're selling digital goods, right? And so the way that we engage with you all in our storefront and how all that works, it's important that we kind of modernize that and that we offer those kinds of experiences that I think people sort of expect. And I think gifting items like Jeremy's talking about is one of those things that we kind of need to catch up with the times. But you know, there are obviously fraud considerations and lots of other things
also
that
like
come up.
Even if we were able to do it on PC, there's also a whole extra layer of conversation to how that works on console, if it could work on console, because the store isn't 100% run by us. It has to be run through their storefronts.
And it would suck to offer like something like that just on PC. All right. Well, we've already talked about or been through the Gamer Recruit event and the Grawl class. We had a whole stream on the Grawl and the Noble the other day. So I guess the next thing to move on is the next big ship coming to PC, which I will pose like now. That is the Orion Orchid class starship, and a lot of folks in the Discord and stuff today were very quick to guess exactly which ship that is. Yes, it is the big orange one from the animated series on Lower Decks.
It looks like a stylized vulture.
Yeah. Thomas, tell us about the Orchid class and what brought that onto the table.
I think you know, we have these conversations about what are we going to make, when are we going to make it, and this year we're talking about doing ships across the history of Star Trek, right? We're celebrating the 60th anniversary of Star Trek, so it's a big deal, and we wanted to kind of fill this year's roster of ships with canonical ships, but not just that, but do it kind of in order. in basically sort of show chronological order, right? So we started, I think the very first new ship of the year was the Orion
Interceptor.
Interceptor, and then we did, we did the Harmony, right, which is kind of a part of the corruption arc.
It's just timeless.
Yeah.
Right. Transcends time. And then of course then we hit it hard. We hit that theme hard by kicking off with the Enterprise Starship bundle.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So after that, now we're moving forward in time. And so the next beat to hit was sort of the and then and the Grawl, right? We also we did the Enterprise bundle, and then you kind of go forward and you're like, okay, well, then that's like, okay, what's Discovery Strange New Worlds era, right? So that's Grawl, so that's representing that era. And then now the next step is the original series era. We have, we're kind of we have a lot of canonical original series stuff, but the Orchid was something that we didn't have, and it also featured in lower decks, and that made it super easy for us because that brings it back into, it takes something that's like was super obscure and then brings it forward into a thing where people who are watching this era of Star Trek are gonna see it. They're gonna recognize it, and it's just a super distinctive, wild-looking ship.
Yeah.
And I can't wait for you guys to see how we translated it, because I love all of our lower decks translations. I think have been, have turned out so incredibly well, and this is no exception. It's really, it looks massive and chunky and deadly and menacing, but it still retains all the character of the original one. So yeah, I'm very excited with for the Orchid.
Moonwalk is saying, you could show us. You're the EP. You have that power. Nothing is stopping you.
I mean, can I?
I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. If you want to send me a picture, I don't have. I was actually gonna say.
Where should I?
The roadmap's on our faces.
Yeah, I know. I'm working on it. Listen. You don't need your face for anything, Jeremy.
Should I send it to you on Slack?
Yeah.
What do you want to see? All right. I think this is done enough for you to share. Hold on. All right, everybody, you're getting an exclusive Fireside Chat exclusive. Hold on.
What can I say except you're welcome?
All right. All right. Did you get it?
I did. Oh my god. This is my first time seeing this ship, so just a moment for me to.
It's sick as hell.
It's sick as hell. Okay, let's one first.
The roadmap's still over your face, by the way, when you get a chance.
Everybody's like, that's preferable.
Oh no.
No. Oh my god, my hair. Anyway, saving, adding. All right, content creators, get your screenshot cameras ready. Here it comes. Any minute. I see you there, shuddering with Antissa.
Orchid.
Patient.
There we go.
Now that's covering everybody's face, so I'm gonna move it down here.
It's not really a leak if the EP publicizes it, I think.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much counts as not a leak. Who did the design work on this? Because that is gorgeous.
So the translation from, again, this is, originally from Star Trek the Animated Series, and then it was used in Star Trek Lower Decks. This was translated to kind of the realistic style. So when we do these things, we have a concept artist take that basic animated look and then put it through the make real filter right in their concept art and develop it, polish it. The person who did that for us this time was a concept artist, Goken.
Oh, nice.
He's done a lot of he's done a couple other ships, but he's done a lot of like lore blogs and environment work. Sometimes he actually shows up in in chat. So I'm
Yeah,
not sure
he's
he
been
might be
here.
with
He's not. I don't
us.
think he's here this time. If he is, he hasn't spoken up
Okay,
yet. But he
he's
has
done.
does show
I
up
know
a
he's
lot.
given away like subs and stuff to people. He's a cool guy,
Yeah.
and he does great work. So Gokun did the translation on the design side, and then Ramon, or ship artist Ramon, modeled it. So I'm sure they'll be on, or at least Ramon will probably want to come on a stream and talk
Hell
about
yeah.
it when it comes out. But yeah, it's just a massive, nasty looking thing in all the best ways. One of the things that's really cool about it, that I think people will barely be able to see, but Gokun and Ramon added the like Orion tattoos
From
to
the Interceptor.
from the god, the pirate one, Brigand,
Oh yeah,
Corsair.
Corsair. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So anyway, so there are some really cool details like that that really make it feel, powerful and nasty. So yep, from the blue skinned Orions. That's the Orchid. I'm really pleased with it, and I think y'all are gonna love it.
The blue-skinned Orions, indeed. I have posted my assy version of this ship in chat. Enjoy. Although it didn't seem to actually post. So hold on, let me try that one more time.
So we'll.
I know why. Anyway, yeah.
On talking a lot about it. It's like mechanical details, stats, all that kind of stuff. We'll hype it up again when it's closer to its release, which I think we're also not saying the exact release date.
We are not. Okay, and then we've got the 16th anniversary bundle coming to console. And then after that, we jump into May, and there is a Tholian Trouble event listed here with a new 5-player version of Crystalline Catastrophe, something that no one saw coming and definitely no one has streamed.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about that one, Jeremy. What's going on with the new Crystalline?
So, first of all, it's actually not going to be called Tholian Trouble. So when you see it, don't be scared. We're calling the event Crystalline Chaos. It is basically an adaptation of the old Tholian Trouble plus the new Crystalline Catastrophe revamp. This all just came out from my own preferences. I have always thought that fighting the Crystalline entity is just such a cool Star Trek moment to be able to engage with in a Star Trek game. And the fact that it was so underplayed, I had to jump to some conclusions here, but my main conclusion is because it was a 10-man queue, it would never pop in randoms. It wasn't part of randoms. And so people that were manually queuing for it were the only people that would experience it. So you basically had to know. And so I wanted to bring it to the masses. I wanted to reinvigorate this and let more people have this experience of fighting this really cool boss fight in space. So I tasked a couple of our designers with it. Andres, our content designer, headed up like the content side and the updates to the mission logic. We're doing a little bit more in terms of like messaging the different objectives and mechanics of the fight. Mayo also headed up some powers updates, the abilities of the bosses, tuning some stuff for 5-man, and of course Flo helped us out as always. We have a new NPC that'll be hosting it, voiced by I believe it was Lonnie. Good old standby.
Lonnie. Well, it's an old NPC.
Old NPC, yes, in a new fashion. Should I go? I guess I'm this close to spoiling it. So Tanae will come back and be our mission giver for this. So we've officially retired Yanishev. That was the last piece of content that still had that old guy attached to it. So we've modernized it, right? We've improved our messaging of the mechanics, the objectives of the TFO. There's now optional objectives you can get for additional rewards. And now Tanae is there and will be voiced. So it really does feel like more modern content resurrected from obscurity and into the current game.
Darin Najem, or Najim possibly, wants to know if you've bumped up the difficulty at all.
Well, I wouldn't say we bumped it up, but in the course of changing it from a 10-man to a 5-man, we didn't bump it down. So I guess it's a little more difficult because there's fewer players there to blow stuff up. But let's be honest, STO is not a very hard game. So if you're a really well-geared high DPS chaser player, you're not really going to have any troubles with this. And also after the event is over, because we only do normal difficulty during the event, but after the event is over, there will be at least one additional difficulty level that'll go into the queues. I'm unsure if we did both advanced or elite, so I just don't want to promise it just yet. but we might. There's at least one additional difficulty coming at the end.
Sounds good. Okay, and then Infinity Lockbox contents update. You got any details to share on that one?
So this is not going to be. We've been talking for a long time of like culling the Infinity Box, taking out unpopular choices and stuff. I just want to say that that's not going to be what's included here. This is basically in May going to be the long-awaited addition of the Partners in Crime Lockbox contents. Will be added to the Infinity Lockbox, as well as an additional ship that is right there.
Yeah, it is. It is indeed right there.
I was going to say, should I talk about it? No.
Well, once again, the executive producer has waved his magic wand and decided to spoil the heck out of this. So I'm excited to show that off. I was sent this image. Thomas, what am I looking at?
So this is a picture of the Damocles class starship from the False Flag, the Klingon ship. The Broken Circle is named the episode from Star Trek Strange New Worlds. One of the really cool things about the Damocles is that it actually has two configurations. There where in the Broken Circle episode, the deflector is above the saucer, and then in the intro for season 3, there's a version of the Damocles where it's basically flipped, where the deflector is beneath the saucer. And so Keen, aka Pundus, did this, brought this in, built this for us, and they did both versions, which is awesome. And so you can swap out both versions. But not only that, in the Broken Circle, it is called it's called a crossfield class. They say, oh, that looks like a crossfield class. Doesn't look anything like a crossfield class. The only thing that is the same is the saucer.
Yeah.
But Keen was able to make it work so that this will fit on, or is a part of the crossfield customization. So if you get the Damocles, you will, and you have other crossfield variants, you'll be able to swap with all of that, like all the crossfield parts that you have. I think I'm not exactly sure which ones on that crossfield skeleton are currently set to be free. I don't want to really go into that, but certainly if you bought the Glen, if you bought Legendary Discovery, if you have any of the other lockbox crossfields, you should have access to those pieces. And so I think it could be really cool because you could take the.
Sorry, Pundus in chat said 2026 is the year of the stupid kit bash. So while you're while you're lifting him up, he's like,
but I'm really excited actually. If for no other reason, is that you can have a crossfield that is stock except for the like Enterprise, like Strange New Worlds TOS-ish nacelles, which I think is a cool look.
Yeah.
And so I love that we're able to do this. I love that we've got Pundus on the team and that they're so game to spend the time and the effort, because it's hard work. It would have been much easier for us to just throw this on. I mean, I've been there as a ship artist, right? Like it would have been much easier just to isolate this thing by itself, and that was what you get, But the fact that this is on the crossfield skin and unlocks a bunch of new parts, I think is a great, just a great thing about our ship customization.
I just noticed there's also a saucer variant, the filled in like frilled fan.
Right.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's very cool. So Thomas, 2026 is the year of the kit bash. When's the Jaeger coming?
It's not on the roadmap, but October.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Spoilers.
The first time I ever saw the Jaeger class, we were at STLV. I think I was hanging out with at least Thomas. It may have been Thomas and Dottie. And we walked by the Eagle Moss booth, and I went, "That ship looks really cool." And everybody else went,
Actually, hold on. Let me. I don't think it's October. I think it's a little later than that. Let's just say later this year.
Okay, later this year. Thomas is off the leash. He can say whatever he wants now. Okay. console players, I'm so sorry, but because your updates are repeats, I'm going to skip them except to say you get cool stuff. We're moving on. People are very excited about the Jaeger. Hamnesia, we're working on the possibility of Twitch drops. Maybe we'll see. All right. So then we come to the summer event. And we come to the Tin Man, the starship that
Tin Man.
Tin Man.
Tin Man.
We come to the next living starship to be pilotable by players in the game. And Jeremy, I want to throw this to you because I know that there was something you pushed for on this ship that players may not expect, and I want you to have the whatever the word is of announcing it.
Is it pleasure?
Yeah, pleasure. There you go. That one is.
Yeah, so this is going to be the first starship that we're giving to players in a long time that will come with a custom ship bridge, micro interior. It's mostly just the bridge. This was an opportunity that we actually talked about doing Gomtuu last year. And at the time, I decided to put my foot down on the fact that if you were going to have Gomtuu, it needed to have a canonical interior, or at least a bridge that you could go to. Having you go to your bridge and it be a standard Federation or Klingon or neutral interior just felt really wrong to me. So when this year's summer event came back, I floated the idea to our content team, because they have to do a lot of the map logic hookup, as well as Phil Dunn, our art director, and everybody was like, yeah, let's try it. It was a great opportunity to be able to learn with this new team the kind of footprint that a ship bridge or small interior would have, so we can know if we want to try to do this in the future, we have now a better idea of how long it'll take and what sort of steps are required in order to pull that off. So yeah, this will have a custom bridge that is just for this ship. It won't unlock on other ships. You can't have a Gomtuu Odyssey or anything like that.
As hilarious as that would be.
It's funny because it was still a lot of work, but Phil Dunn made a lot of jokes when we were putting it together that essentially, if you look real closely at the set, just in a quick look, it looks kind of exotic and weird and alive and what's going on there. But if you look real closely, the bridge chair is literally just a chair with a blanket thrown over it. And so, but we tried to do our best to make it feel like an in-world thing and give it a little more life and realism.
Now when you sit on the chair, the blanket eats you.
It's funny,
yeah.
I have not gotten a chance to see it yet, and now I just kind of want to wait.
Yeah. While I was looking up, because I unlike my wonderful friends here, I don't remember every episode of Star Trek I've ever seen. So I was looking up what Gomtuu was, and came across the bit of trivia that the sounds on the Gomtuu bridge were combined, I think, whale sounds, and then the sound of the sound designer digesting pizza. He put a stethoscope up to his stomach and recorded those sounds. So,
yeah.
Jeremy, that's I assume you'll be doing that, or do you need me?
Pizza doesn't play well with me these days, so maybe yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'll have to do it. Scorp, I love the trolling in chat. Scorpion was posting earlier, Jade was posting earlier about how great the ship artists are. I agree. And now they're saying Discord is asking for a legendary Oberth. No, they're not. No one's asking for that. No one has ever asked for that. No one will ever ask for that. People ask for that all the time. Okay. So we're not doing any more details on what the Gomtuu will be. But
I will say though, it's part of the summer event. We've laid down our plans for what sort of extra prizes will be in the summer event, and I think that there's some that are a new theme that we haven't actually two different new themes that we haven't explored previously in the summer event. So it's not just baseball. We're going in a couple different directions, and I'm excited to spoil some of those when we get around to it.
Yeah, I've heard what some of those are, and they're pretty fun. All right. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. The console we put on the Noble would have made a lot more sense on the Oberth. So then we're going to talk about I think we can talk about both of these at once, and they're, again, both a Jeremy question. Thomas will get to talk again someday, I hope. But we've got Fleet Store updates and a Phoenix Prize Pack update. Jeremy, what can you say about those?
So the Fleet Store update, I'll take the thunder here, but I want to admit that this was mostly Thomas's push. Like since taking over as EP, there has been kind of an undercurrent that he's been encouraging people to think about the sort of neglected parts of the game, the areas that we haven't done updates for in a while, or that players might have maybe almost forgotten exist. So we've talked about a lot of different aspects of the game that fall into this, but fleets and fleet progression and fleet stores are definitely one area where we saw an opportunity. We could spend a little bit of time doing some updates, and I want to tamp down some expectations here. Please do be aware that it says update, not overhaul or revamp or anything like that. So, we'll basically be adding some new items to the stores. I don't want to spoil them just yet. And a few new projects that fleets have to unlock. And this is for two reasons. One is to show, like, basically put our money where our mouth is, right? To show that we remember these things exist and we do want to spend some time paying attention to them and giving them some sort of love and updates. But also, fleets are a great sink for dilithium. And so this kind of goes hand in hand with another thing that I know Thomas is really bullish on, and so am I, which is the dilithium economy and finding ways to put in some new changes that'll help that in the long term.
I am also bullish on it. I don't know if you wanted to mention that.
So there will be some new things that you can unlock in some of your fleet holdings, some new projects that you can run to get those things. I'm hoping that this is the first update of many like it. I don't know exactly what cadence we can plan for in the future, but I'm hoping you guys are going to be excited about this stuff. At least seeing that, you know, we haven't forgot the fleets exist. Here's some new things to do.
Yeah.
With your fleet mates.
And on that subject, Manfred, my community counterpart over in Europe, did a really great job putting together some blogs for both Star Trek and Neverwinter, highlighting some really fun fleets that you can join. So if you are just coming back to the game, or if you want to, or if you are just looking for a fleet and you've been playing for a while, go and check that out. It's up on our main page, and I think it's linked in the Winback blog as well.
Yeah. Oh, and hey, I have a friend who is running a fleet by themselves, their own personal fleet. He ground up to tier 4, like he just finished his tier 4 starbase. He needs an armada really bad. Somebody reach out to me on Blue Sky. Let's get this guy in an armada, please.
Oh, let's get this kid in front of an armada. That didn't really work with the as well, but.
And then there's the Phoenix Prize Pack update, which I haven't, honestly, this is a few months away. I haven't nailed down exactly the scope of this. I think it's probably just going to be a pretty standard update of we're likely to retire some things from Mud's Market and add them to the Phoenix box. Again, it's not going to be a major overhaul at this time, but just a good update. And I'm pretty sure that this update will also launch alongside another dilithium sale, dilithium weekend, Vanity Shield promo thing all at the same time.
But we're only pretty sure on that, so if it doesn't happen, don't yell at us.
I think it'll be I think it's far enough out that we can make those plans. They're just not solidified just yet. And that's true of a lot of this roadmap. Like, people need to remember that some plans are subject to change.
It does say that on the roadmap, so to be clear.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing our best to stick with all this. I think we have a good plan for the development of all of these features, but yeah, just it might flex a little bit. The June update might end up slipping to July or something like that.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of the stuff that's on here, almost everything until, I would say, well, really up through September to some degree or another is already like in progress, right? I think maybe up until August, we are deep in development on pretty much everything on this roadmap, to some degree or another. We're further along on certain things, obviously, but we did try to be careful about what we included here in terms of things that we felt like we could deliver on, and I know that. I think some people were surprised about how transparent it is, but we are still pretty vague about certain big things that we plan on doing, and we will continue to be vague about those until I feel comfortable that we're going to execute on them, because we definitely want to make sure that that you guys get what we promise.
The
Mhm.
people he's talking about are me. I saw this for the first time and went, we're telling them about ships that far out? Awesome.
Well, the
Oh,
ship pipeline, it has to be planned out that far in advance. So yeah, like Thomas was saying, a lot of this is already at various stages of in flight.
yeah.
Right. Like
Um,
the Kelvin, we've got models done for the Kelvin bundle already. They're looking awesome.
2 of the ships have already been designed and checked in by the designers
Yeah.
as well.
wow.
Yeah, and but again, at the bottom, all content and dates are subject to change. So
Mhm.
we might have to move some things around. We'll see that the realities of game development are things are always harder than you think they are. And sometimes you have to pivot, sometimes you have to, scope back. But I am pretty optimistic that we have a really good preview of what's coming for everybody.
Yeah, even though I made a case of voicing the caveat, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
I
you.
will say that, like, the further you go out, the less. It's
Oh.
still pretty strong, like out to September and however far the roadmap goes, but it does get a little weaker at the end.
Just a little.
Mikey.
I know.
Mikey,
I saw. I was just about to
Okay,
comment.
all
on
right.
it.
I know I'm not supposed to read chat.
I
but
know.
I'm
No.
DP, so-
Yeah, you're allowed. It's fine. You're not allowed, but I forgive you this time. Alice Wetterland is about to rate us. She hasn't yet, but that's very exciting. For those of you who don't know Alice, she was on the TV show. Oh my God!
Resident Alien.
Resident Alien. Thank you. I could just think of the word alien and nothing else. And she's a fantastic comedian and now a pretty full-time streamer who plays a lot of Star Trek Online too. Thanks to a lot of you folks who have shown up and told her about it. So that's awesome. And yes, thank you, Trexpert. Appreciate you.
There we go. Welcome, Raiders.
Yeah. If you're here yet, it doesn't say. Oh, there she is. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Thank you very much for the raid, Alice. You sent us all into a tizzy with your preview that you were going to raid. Thank you for being here. All right.
Well, hold on, Mikey.
Yeah.
I want to say, so when this happens, so there was another great content creator who was here earlier. I don't know if they're still here. Nick, Peace X Peace. And Nick always did really great, like a rap whenever Raiders showed up to kind of introduce people to their channel. So I think you need to hire Nick to make one.
Oh, thank God. I thought you were going to say, I think you need
do
to freestyle a rap right now. And I was like,
No,
nope, stream's over.
No.
That's awesome. All right. Well, hey, it's good to see you, Alice. It's good to see you, all of Alice's chat. Thanks for being here, folks. We're talking about the 2026 roadmap for Star Trek Online, and we're going through it bit by bit. So there's going to be some fun stuff to discover soon. All right. So now we get into July. And the first big ticket item on July is the Klingon Starship, which we're not giving any more details other than Klingon Starship. But I think if you look at the Discord this morning, a lot of people have figured it out already, which is great. Anything?
Well,
Go ahead.
Everybody should know at this point that we're focusing a lot on canon ships this year. Like it's on theme for the 60th anniversary of the Star Trek IP. So there's only so many Klingon canon ships that we haven't made, right? So the number of possibilities here is fairly small, which isn't to underplay the fact that some of you have hit it right on the nose, but still,
Right.
It wasn't a huge catalog to choose from.
Also, I have to correct the record. I saw somebody on Reddit say that I didn't like this ship.
I saw that too.
I do like. I actually have always been an advocate for adding this ship to the game. And I was really excited when it showed up in Lower Decks. Well, a ship that could conceivably be it showed up in Lower Decks. And now we in true Star Trek Online fashion are squaring that circle and planting our flag in the ground and saying
They're the same
X
ship.
is Y. They're the same ship. We're tying the threads together. We're making these connections so that I can sleep at night, because that's
what keeps Thomas up.
That I have.
Yep. I just want to quickly say, because I forgot, if you're somebody joining us from Alice's stream and you have not played Star Trek Online yet, now is a really good time to join. We just launched a quick start event, which means that you can get a free premium leveled up, fully kitted out character to start your adventure with. So you sort of get to start closer to the finish line rather than closer to the starting line. So it's a really, really good time to jump in and join. If you're interested, head to playstartrekonline.com. Okay, ad break over.
I would say if you're brand new to the game, go claim that character, but then you might want to start a separate one because that character is meant for advanced play. It doesn't have a lot of tutorialization. So you might want to go through the lower level stuff and then jump back to your advanced character and once you get the hang of things.
Cool. All right.
Are we just going to say the name of the ship, or are we just going to dance around it?
I think we're gonna dance around it unless Thomas wants to sneeze and say it.
No, that's fine. It's
right.
fine. I've done enough.
I've done enough. Because the next thing we're gonna talk about, I want to spoil real bad, and I'm not gonna, but I'm just putting it out there. So in July we drop season 36, the next big content update. What's interesting about this is we've done a bunch of interviews about this roadmap and this content that are all coming out today. And Thomas, what's the number one thing you've been saying about this update?
We think it's something that you all will really be excited by. Is basically, I think, all I've said about it.
Yeah, and you've said it's going to surprise people. That was your catchphrase.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Have we talked about how this content relates to the ongoing Kings and Queens arc yet?
I don't think we have, but correct me if I'm wrong. We have not. Okay.
No, we haven't. We've explicitly not. I've been not doing that.
Yeah. Okay. So we got to not do that. So I guess we can't say. Go ahead.
I thought you said that we have, but up until this point, we've explicitly been not doing that. But I think when we talked earlier, Mikey, you said that this might be the time to.
Oh yeah,
to go.
I did say that. Yeah. Good.
Right.
It's a fireside chat, right?
Yeah, it's a fireside chat. Let's chat on the fireside. Thomas, what do you want to tell everybody?
Well, I want to say this first. I am really proud of the Kings and Queens arc. I know there's a lot to it. I know it's been going on for a very long time, but given the circumstances under which we've been working for the past few years, all the uncertainty, all the changes, I'm really proud of that work, and I'm proud of everything that we've been doing with that work and with that story. It was important to kind of continue that story as to honor Al and Paul and all their work in setting it up and everything, and we are going to finish it. We will finish that story. We will finish telling that story with the Borg Multiverse War, but not in season 36.
So
what are we doing?
What are we? Yeah. I don't know. You can't say what we're doing in season 36.
I'm not going to say what we're doing yet.
No, I didn't think so.
I'm not going to say what we're doing yet. But I wanted to put a pin. I just wanted to let everybody know now that we're essentially pausing the Kings and Queens arc because we're doing something different for season 36.
We're doing another.
It's still going to be an episode. We're still going to have a story-based episode. It will not be in the Kings and Queens arc. And part of the reason for this is we're celebrating 60 years of Star Trek and 16 years of Star Trek Online. This is an anniversary year. It felt like a really good opportunity to do something different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. To do something.
I will say there's also, at the risk of overstepping here, it's not just an episode. There's other content planned for this drop that I'm personally really excited to be able to start talking about as soon as we're ready to do so. I think a lot of people, it'll raise an eyebrow or two, and then
with the nature of what we're doing, we've talked a bit about being a little more open earlier than we normally are with season updates. So I don't count on that, but you guys might get more details on what we're doing and when sooner than you would normally expect to. All right. Well, I've held Thomas over the knife of not saying too much for a deeply long time. We've got the Kelvin Timeline Starship Bundle. I saw a ton of speculation on what ships will be in that today, but we're not talking about that unless Thomas decides to break protocol again.
No, we're done. That was it. That was it.
We're done.
Like they're all canon ships again. So how big is the list of canon Kelvin Timeline ships that we haven't done? Go look through it.
Here is something actually I lied. I lied.
I know. I know.
No, here's something. No, here's something I will say about that bundle that I'm very excited about. And I think I might have already said this on one of the podcasts that got released today. We did a couple interviews like 2 or 3 weeks ago, so I don't even remember what we said. But we're announcing a Kelvin Timeline Starship bundle. What I want to say is we are doing Prime Universe skins for all of those ships too.
Sick.
So if you like, I know some people love the Kelvin Timeline and love the style of those ships, and that's awesome, and you're going to get great examples of those models. But if you want to lean into the Prime timeline and that's kind of your Star Trek, all those ships will come with a skin that totally feels at home in the sort of TNG, post TNG era of Star Trek in the Prime universe, and that'll be an option. And I just, that's another thing where Pundus and Ramon, we've already started to see some of that work come in. Scorp, Jamie, they've done some really killer interpretations of these ships in the Prime universe version of them. It's awesome stuff, and just like the stuff that we just got with the Enterprise bundle, I think seeing these different takes on these ships, it really fleshes out the universe in a really cool way, adds a lot of variety. It lets you maintain the place of the Star Trek Online time frame and universe if you want to. If that's important to you, it's important to me. And so we're doing that with this bundle, and I'm very proud of that. And I think you guys are going to love it once you see it.
Hell yeah.
Also, Spock lava suit. Just
what? Wait, is that actually going in there?
Yes.
Oh my god, I was just talking about that with players today. For those of you who don't know the lore on this, we announced the Spock lava suit at STLV, I want to say like 7 or 8 years ago. Yeah. Because at that time it was coming, and then literally everyone forgot it existed. I'm not kidding. That is actually what happened. Players keep asking for it, and I kept pushing for it to be in a reward pack somewhere, so I'm very glad that it's happening. It makes me happy. All right. So then we've got a to-be-announced TFO. Since the entire TFO is to be announced, I'm going to skip over that unless y'all have something special you want to say about it.
I think this is probably going to be out of the box repeat because we have season 36 and season 37 kind of bookending it. So I don't think players should expect anything new. It's probably going to be a repeat of an event with a new reward, obviously, because that's how I do things. Yep.
Very cool. And then that brings us to a Star Trek Day event, another to be announced TFO event, and an alien starship. As well as the Season 37 concept update and another Federation starship. Anything that we want to say? I know that whole box is kind of still in development and not ready for prime time, but is there anything we want to say about any of those things?
There have been we've seen some more correct guesses on Reddit for the alien starship. I guess that's what I'll say there. So I've seen at least one correct guess. So it's out there.
Was it Corlo?
As far as what the Star Trek Day event and the TFO event that month, they're going to be, I'm hoping we can figure out the right way to make them correlated with one another. But I don't really have solid plans just yet. A lot of our team is still focused on season 36 right now. So there's been some high level planning and ideas that have been thrown around, but I don't know if we're ready to talk about them publicly just yet.
Yeah, I do want to say that for the Enterprise trailer, we actually did build the 8th and Prime map. I don't know yet. I don't want to commit to that being in the game this year, but I would like to put it in the game eventually, like to give you guys access to going there and seeing it and to flying around and everything. Ideally, that would be part of that Star Trek Day event.
Yeah.
But it might not be. Like I'm just speaking super frankly here. It's really a nice to have, and we've got a lot going on. The last half of this year is really ambitious, so we'll see what happens. But you guys saw that in the trailer. That was actually in the game. That wasn't pre-rendered. We actually made that. We made that map. So I do hope that it'll get to you guys. If not this year, then next year.
Heck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe this is again a maybe, but maybe we'll end up moving the Star Trek Day Fleet Museum to the actual museum too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be the idea, is that you
Yeah.
would it would happen there, and maybe we have some sort of portal or something at ESD instead of having all the ships there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It just like it transwarps you to the 8th and Prime map, just because it's, again, it's really important to me that people, my eventual goal is like I want to keep nudging Stowe closer and closer to the idea of like, oh, I just want to play around in Star Trek, right?
Yeah.
Like
I want to live in
that,
that
I think,
universe.
yeah, like that is, I think, the most powerful thing about Stowe that sets it apart from other MMOs of its age, from other space combat games. Like the Star Trek thing is the thing that it's why, a lot of people are here. I did not start out as an MMO player. Funny enough, the only other MMO I played a lot of was City of Heroes before I started playing Stowe, but it was because it's Star Trek, right? And so anything we can do to give you those places to go where it feels like I am in this universe, I'm living in this universe, right? That is an important part of the game for me. It's hard to do, and it takes a long time, and it's something we kind of have to do incrementally in little drops like this, but it is something that is really important to me. And that's why we did back in 2024, that's why we did the updated Wolf 359, right? We didn't have to do that. It wasn't something that the content needed, but it was something I wanted to do because it gave you a connection to the place of Star Trek and the history of Star Trek, and it let you live that out and see that and be immersed in it and fly around in it, and it was connected to the content we released. But it yeah, like I want to do more of that. I want to do more of that. I think it's really important for the people who log into Stowe every day, who hang out with their friends, in Stowe, on DS9, on Tristana, on ESD. Like, I want to give you guys more places to do that while still feeling like you're in the Star Trek universe. Because, growing up, uh, that's the magic of the show, is thinking about, I want to be on the Enterprise. I want to hang out with my friend Worf. I want to hang out with my friend Data. I want to work for a boss like Riker or Picard, or Kirk or Burnham or whoever, like Janeway. All these people that you idolize. It wasn't just like that you liked them as characters, but you connected with them and you wanted to believe in them and you wanted to believe that you were there right along with them. And so, doing stuff like this is something I feel really passionate about. And that's my fireside chat.
That was beautiful. I love it. I love that direction for the game. All right. Well, that is pretty much the entire roadmap for season 27. Again, unless Thomas wants to speak up and say something, I think we're pretty much saying, except that it's a part of the same thing that's happening with season 26.
Content.
More. More? You want more? But we do have a few minutes here. So I wanted to open the floor for questions. Now, just a quick reminder to everybody. While these two gentlemen can answer the questions about when certain things may or may not be coming to the game, I just gave you a roadmap. So if you're like, where's this ship that I like coming to the game? The answer is, if it's not on the roadmap, I mean, it still might come this year, but it's better to just sort of leave
October.
Yeah. It's better to post that stuff in the feedback and request section of the Discord, where we can see it and tally it and stuff like that. Also on that subject, if you ask your question in a, way that seems like it's kind of rude, I get people are passionate about the game, I will reword the question before I ask it, just so I'm not yelling at my friends and coworkers over here. All right, I think that's all of the adieus I have to say. So let's dive in and see about my question. Okay, so we're getting a lot of questions that are phrased blank when.
Because they know that's what you hate.
I know. And also just because they just do it. That's just how they talk. Scorpion wants to add a second Quinn to ESD. I'm assuming that's an inside joke.
Twin Quinn?
Twin Quinn? Reiko Nilo wants to know if there's any chance of old Muds packs returning at any point for players. I thought they were all coming back, but I guess there's some that are missing.
Once an item gets removed from the mud market, it should appear somewhere else in the game. Historically, that should have been the Phoenix prize pack up to now. If something has been missed,
Please
it's
let us
not
know.
on my radar at the moment. Yeah, so maybe let us know. But that's the general plan. And once it's removed from muds, it doesn't come back. And that is based on a bunch of like internal analysis that we do. We usually only remove things from there when they have basically stopped getting purchased, indicating that players have just moved on from that. They don't find it appealing anymore for whatever reason. So we make those available elsewhere. Phoenix Prize Pack has been the place that they've been ending up. So if something left the Muds pack and didn't end up in the Phoenix Prize Pack, actually, if you let me know right now, that's great timing because I'm going to be working on that June update very soon.
Okay. Very nice. Where's Sulu? He's inside your heart. Let's see. It is a good day to fly a starship. Let me see. Oh, chat is coming in super fast, which makes getting gathering
Oh, I'm
questions
sorry.
difficult.
Let me amend what I just said. Ship bundles, the ships themselves probably won't end up with Phoenix Prize Pack migration because they're
Okay.
also available. Like they're also in Infinity Packs or R&D promos or whatever. They're available in other places already in the game. Some of them probably will go to Phoenix, but that's not like the standard normal thing for mud ship packs. Just to clarify that.
Got it. Okay, cool. Non-content question. Looney Welsh is asking about something I did. I had a player who was asking me over and over that if they could get a custom title for getting their character to level 65 in the TOS area without leaving and going to the modern era. And so I said, sure, why not? That's hilarious. They did it. I gave them the title Should Have Left. And then, we just there was a one-time custom title grant. Jared, our producer at the time, our lead producer at the time, was nice enough to make the title for me and let me put it up. So we don't have that as an accolade or a title in the game right now. I don't know how feasible it is to add that as a thing. And I don't know how much we want to be incentivizing players to not leave the Discovery or TOS tutorial areas. So that's a discussion we can have offline and figure it out.
If we never talked about it, if it was some sort of Easter egg that you could, if you're crazy enough, stumble upon, then maybe. But now that we've talked about it, I don't want to like put it in front of players' faces as if like, hey, you could do this thing.
Yeah.
Because it's really aberrant gameplay and it's not a fun experience either,
No.
at least in my opinion.
Yeah,
so
and then if it's an
we don't really
accolade,
want to.
If it's an
We
accolade,
don't really want to incentivize you.
Yeah, if it's an accolade, our accolade hunters will all drive themselves crazy doing it, and So
Yeah.
we'll see. Let's see. I don't think that's a problem, Wallace. Don't worry. I'm sure Thomas forgives you. Let's see. So a couple of quality of life requests. But I'm going to keep going. Do we have an update, Jeremy, or Thomas, actually, this might be either of you, on bringing back old charity items like the pink vanity shield or the Eisenberg class, and finding a way we can get them back in players' hands while still not doing the crass thing and selling them?
I think that's something that we need to just kind of talk to ARC about. So our publisher ARC, we have they kind of reach out to external partners, and so I think ARC would we can work with them to try to find good fits for stuff like that. I think what would help to follow up on this, Mikey, is just a list, right,
Yeah,
of
I can get
stuff
you
like
that.
that we want to that we might want to give away with a charity partner. And,
especially the pink stuff and the medical support stuff. Those really, I would like to keep the theme if we can, and for whatever clout I have in this conversation, I'd like to keep the theme of those doing like charity tie-in.
Yeah, I agree.
For those things.
Absolutely.
But there's other items like the platinum stuff that for Cryptic's 20th anniversary and the Eisenberg, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
We haven't really made any progress on discussing exactly how or when we would get those into the hands of players, but it is something that we haven't forgotten about. But it is like we wouldn't want to sell those, so we have to find something else to do with them.
Heck yeah. This is an interesting question, I think, for you, Thomas. Demetra wants to know if there's any chance we can turn the Stardust Sanctuary Deer effect into a vanity shield for starships.
Sure. I mean, we could. I would probably put it on an engine. That kind of effect
Yeah.
usually goes like on the impulse engine. If you're talking about kind of a trail or
It's that like
Sparkly,
the
like
starry
see-through.
overlay?
material
Yeah.
that you can see through. Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know how.
yes. You
Yeah.
could turn that into a ship vanity shield.
You wouldn't want the whole ship to be that, but maybe on the trim or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know that you could do it that way. It doesn't really work like that. I think you'd have to do the whole ship.
Okay.
Does it have to be
Because
like a contiguous thing? Otherwise, it's not all looking in the same direction, basically.
basically it would have to be a complete, because of the way UVs work, I think it would have to be a complete material place. I could be wrong. We could look into it. I think it's interesting. It's a cool idea. I'm just trying to figure out IP wise if there are any concerns, because
Yeah.
I know we've got a lot of sparklies, we got a lot of stuff in the game that's weird. We kind of get away with that for the deer because it's Q's Winter Wonderland, right? But I also a little concerned sometimes that we make stuff that reads a little too fantasy, and that kind of thing as a ship vanity shield might lean a bit too hard into like the fantasy look, as opposed to something that you can sort of technologically justify in your head. I know that is very subjective, and I'm not saying we're not going to do it, but it is also something that we do think about and talk about.
Well, and to kind of put it in context, like you guys have seen a few examples of this. Maybe it's too fantasy thing in the game that we've barely been able to justify, like the Fakiri cannon from last year, and Molar's sword from I think somewhere in the Discovery arc. Like they look like they're straight out of like a fantasy game, like a World of Warcraft style world, right? We do our best to, like, when we can play in those spaces, we still need to try and walk that line. I actually think those two examples might have gone over the line just a little bit, but we do our best. Like, it still needs to feel like it's Star Trek, and Star Trek has Greek gods and green hands in space and stuff like that. So there's some room to flex on that, but we just like to be careful about it.
I do think there have been times where we worried a bit too much about that and ended up not doing things that would have been good opportunities because we were, I don't want to say too precious about the IP, but probably we were too precious about the IP. So, I would, it's obviously you guys' decision. I have no input here, but just for me,
we have a really great relationship with Paramount that we built up over the years.
Yeah.
We don't ever want to do anything to jeopardize that.
That's true. But yeah. Okay, cool. Let me get another question here. Let's see.
That said, while you look for a question, I just want to say I've always really wanted to do a gingerbread vanity shield for the winter event, but that one I think steps over the line, right? Because if you can take it out into the real world of the game beyond the winter event.
If we had a space TFO.
Yeah, and could like apply it as an overlay when you play on
like
there.
we do for battle.
TFO.
Yeah.
Right. Because I know that we have some pets that act different in the winterland as opposed to, right? And so theoretically, maybe we could do a gingerbread vanity shield that in that winter event map look different.
Like you're flying a gingerbread version of your ship in this like Q TFO.
Yeah. We talked about that before. I mean, there's a lot of stuff we can't do, but we do. I mean, it's a multiplayer game, and it is, and I know with an MMO, like immersion is, a lot of people just give up on it, right? And I get that, like, when you're running around ESD and you see a 8-foot tall guy dressed like the Joker, it's like, okay, it's an MMO, right? But we don't. I don't know. To me, I do want to preserve some amount of that integrity to some degree.
I think it's like a case by case basis. Like, the two things Jeremy mentioned, the cannon and the sword are, obviously some of my
Yeah.
favorite items in the game, and I love those designs.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're
They're so
completely
metal.
out of place. Yeah, I don't think they're completely out of place in Trek either. But there is some stuff, obviously, like, that we could add that would be too crazy and too over the top and would break that immersion. So it's really a case by case discussion per the item and what we're talking about. I love the idea of a gingerbread starship TFO though. We should look into that.
Yeah.
Just
a lot of
the
other
vanity
stuff
shields
going
are
on
just
this year.
effects. Right?
Yeah.
So we could do a costume replace like we do. We have 3 or 4 TFOs
Yep.
with the cost, at least 2, maybe more. But Binary Stars and Wolf 359 are just costume replace on you. So you could do something like that. We could do an effect overlay that just overlays your exact ship with the gingerbread material.
Yeah.
There's a lot of possibility there.
We talked a couple years ago about doing an April Fool's joke where we turned everybody's ships into balloon animal style things for a day. But I think that got shot down for similar concerns.
Right. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go for one more question. Now, if it's an actual question, I will ask it. But if you're just throwing comments, please throw those in the Discord. We want to see them.
Give us the meaty ones. We've been spoiling stuff. We got a lot of things where, yeah. Give us a good one.
Let's see.
Is
This
this
is
a
an
good one?
interesting one. Thomas, Arcane Flame Pony wants to know, you've mentioned in a previous live stream about wanting to make sector space more interesting to fly around in. Is there anything you want to say about that? Any updates you want to share? You have to be vague. I know. You have to be super vague. I just wanted to ask the question.
It is something we are looking into. That doesn't mean much, but it is something that we are looking into. And that's all I'll say about it.
All right.
I have designers actively prototyping things.
So there you go.
I think, and that again, the whole idea behind that, right, is to, Stowe does not feel like a place right now in the sense of, oh, I just play the UI, right? I transwarp directly to all the things I do. I join the TFO menu. I go to the mission journal, right? There's no sense of like an open world game, the best examples of open world games, I think, or an easy, good example, let's say it like that, is, our Bethesda games, right? And the way Bethesda games work are, you're flying, you're walking around and you see a thing on the hill and you see, oh, that's got a compass icon. That means I should go check it out. And then you walk over to it and you check it out. You kill a rat or whatever. And then you get your loot. And then you look back at your compass and like, oh, there's another compass icon over there. I'm going to go check it out. Right. And then you just do that for 200 hours. And that's a Bethesda game. But that works, right? It creates a world where there's continuity between the movement and then what you discover, and to me that's a good model of how to make a place feel like a place and how to string moments together. And so when I think about what can make sector space better, it's like, well, what can we do to give you those moments to make it worthwhile actually being in sector space. Like it's a whole section of the game that we have for some reason, but there's nothing to do there, right? It's an impediment to gameplay. It's not part of gameplay. And so that's really what we're looking into.
Thomas declares war on parts of the game where there's nothing to do. Story and
You're next, Andoria.
I'm coming for you.
Okay, so final question. Gabriel Fonseca would like to know if you can pet your cat, Thomas.
No, I'm doing it.
Yep. All right, there we go.
I'm doing it too. Mine's off camera. But...
That, Jeremy, maybe we got to work on phrasing, but... All right. Anyway, thank you so much, Thomas and Jeremy, for joining us. Really, really great, really informative stream. I will be posting both these pictures that Thomas gave us on the Discord and the subreddit, so you guys can see those. And if there's any other updates that you want to scream about in those places, please do, because we love talking about that stuff.
I've one final note. I don't know if we've said this publicly, but this is not a one-time thing. Our intention is to do roadmaps periodically. I don't know if we're going to say how periodically, but like it's great.
Yeah, it's
this
fantastic.
was, it started off as an initiative from Jack when he came back, but we've really embraced it. And I think that going forward, this is something we'd be really excited to continue giving you guys.
I think we should. It's something that I really enjoyed when we did it. The few times we did it the first time. So, all right, everybody. Yeah. Well, Thomas, Jeremy, thank you very much. We will see you all in the future and on future streams. Folks in chat, appreciate you all being here. I am going to quickly check because I'm going to raid Q. You all are correct, but I need to figure out. I need to get his actual screen name spelled right.
He's celebrating his 10th year.
I think so.
Streaming.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, stick around for the raid and go
say hi to him. He has a 16th
him.
anniversary bundle to give away today.
Ooh,
because
nice.
of he asked
go
nicely.
Get it.
So go hang out in that stream. Make sure you stay so you can win the bundle. And also Q is fantastic and we love him. So check that out. All right. Thank you all very much. Enjoy the rest of your day. We will see you next week for another stream. Until then, bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. 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 Bye.